Hey guys, it's Kevin Correia of Team Core Real Estate, just checking in here. Wanted to go over pricing your house again, a little bit different though today. Now, tip number 4 is why overpricing your house. If an agent lets you overprice your house too much, why it can actually hurt you, and why they're doing a disservice to you if they let you overprice your house too much. So, for example, we had somebody that wanted to list a house, and we gave them the price. It was $520,000. They thought it was worth $700,000, which is fine. You can think it's worth whatever you want, but the bank sends in an appraiser, and they have to make sure that that buyer who's buying that house is willing to pay, is making sure that they're buying for the house what it's worth. So if the bank only thinks the house is worth the 520, nobody's ever going to lend you $700,000 on a $520,000 house, because it's going to take 5, 10, 20, 30 years for it to be worth that amount. So no bank's going to give you a loan, and it's going to get rejected. So even if you offered $700,000 on a house and it's not worth that, the bank's not going to give you the loan. Any cash buyer is going to know they're overpaying. They're not going to overpay $150,000. But the big thing is a lot of people don't think about it when they're pricing their house. They're like, oh, I'll just drop the price. We're in a seller's market. Price drops aren't that common. So you need to make sure you price your house right so you don't get in that situation. But why I said the listing agent's doing you a disservice if they let you overprice your house, because too, if it sits for 30, 60, 120 days, they're going to really think something's wrong with your house. And they're not doing their job, because their job is to help you price the house at the right price. If they let you price it $130,000 or $170,000 more than it's worth, they should have never listed the house. They should have told you, hey, go find somebody else. I'm not willing to do that because it's never going to sell. And if they were honest with you up front, you're going to respect them for that. And if the person doesn't list with you and it goes on the market for $700,000, you don't have to worry about it. You didn't lose anything, because that person wasn't realistic when they were selling. So it's probably not going to sell anyway. And usually what ends up happening, they get mad at the agent who let them list it at $700,000, right? Because it never sells. So they end up calling you back and say, hey, you know what? You were right. Or they just take it off the market and they never sell the house, which is fine either way. But why waste your time, and why waste the seller's time by putting on a house on the market that's not worth what you're trying to list it for? Because the other agents are going to look at you and be like, what's wrong with this guy? He's been around for 10 years and he's pricing houses this bad. They're going to think you don't know what you're doing. And if somebody doesn't know you, they're going to think your agent doesn't know what they're doing, because they let you price that house at that price when there's nothing spectacular about it. So guys, always go with your agent's advice. They're going to show you data to back up that price. If they don't show you data to back up that price, then obviously you can question it. But we always give data as where we came up with our price. We don't just make a price up. We go based on the recent sales in the area. So make sure you price your house right, especially in this market. And if an agent lets you overprice your house by more than $10,000, guys, they're doing you a huge disservice, and you shouldn't be working with them, because that means they probably don't know what they're doing. So hope this tip helped everybody, and have a great day.